S01E01. S01.
Check, check. Yes. You should be able to hear me right now. Let me adjust the camera. 1 second. What's up, ESP? What's up, Crowley? Let me see if I can adjust the lighting a bit. Yeah, that's a bit better, I think. All right. So yeah, this show is now called 01. Big thanks to Crowley for putting in some design work for the logo, which I'm still taking into consideration for future artwork kind of stuff. Yeah. So today we're going to be doing some like Wheel of Fortune type stuff, and that's probably going to be it for today. Maybe some feedback towards the end. So yeah, that's it. How have you been, Crowley, ESP? Anyone else? If you're in the chat, let me know. All right. Atmospheric, that's good. Drum and bass, okay. All right, atmospheric drum and bass, no breaks. All right. So, and by breaks, in case you don't know, I meant break beats, so I majorly screwed myself right there, but that's fine. Let's start with some atmospheric stuff, maybe a pad or a sample or something. Let's see. I'm gonna go through some vinyl samples first and see if there's anything there. Whatever, let's start with the synth, right? Let's see, I'm gonna go with a sort of sine triangle combination just to make it a bit subtle, I guess. Right, that should be a good starting point. Let's say 170 BPM for the drum and bass type style. I think it quantizes sort of. Oh, the sound is not coming through. Sorry about that. That is a quiet ass stream. Oh, there we go. Okay. Thanks for the heads up. Let me see. Should be okay now, right? So just in case I cut this up for YouTube, 1 second.
01.
All right. The sound is working. Great. I'm gonna go and make like an arpeggiator kind of thing out of this. That might be nice. I'm just thinking about all the people who are getting notifications now saying 01 is live, and they have no idea what the hell is going on. Wait. There we go. Man, the amount of latency I have with the stream is pretty ridiculous. I mean, it's fine. I just can't record properly with it. There we go. Hey, what's up, Super Zero? How you doing, man? Glad you tuned in. So I'm basically just gonna take the bass sound I just made and make sort of a detuned Reese-ish sound out of it with the unison thingy. If I can make it work. Yeah, the sun being out is going to be the best thing ever. It's been out here in Utrecht for like 2 days, and I feel so much better than even a day before that. So don't be down for too long, Crowley, because the sun is coming out. But it's going to be even better when it's out all the time. So what I don't like about this type of bass sound... Hey, what's up, Panther Skills? Where are you from? You mentioned not being able to build a snowman. Yeah, I really don't like this whole detuning thing messing the fundamental of the bass up. So what I'm gonna do is group this one, group this instant massive, create another chain. Actually, can I do that? Copy this one. Yeah, duplicate this one. Call it sub and put an EQ on both of them. I have a bass splitter right there, but this is slightly different. So this is going to be sort of the mid sound, and then the sub is going to be right there. And I don't really need to EQ it because it's just going to be a very simple bass sound as a sub, but who cares? So take off this stuff. There we go, just a sine wave. Put this back on. So we have like we have the movement of that Reese, but we still have a nice sustained bass note. What I could do now, what I'm gonna try and do is put a LFO right there to get some movement, but we'll see if that works. I can just feel it in my sub pack right now, and I think that's fine. Maybe even slower actually. Let's see. Because a bit of movement, like the volume going up and down, isn't that much of a problem. It's just that it's annoying when you don't really have control over it. When it's detuned and it's phasing each other out and stuff. So no snow in the UK this year then, or in certain parts, I guess. So we have 2 bassline ideas now. We'll see what we go with in the end, but nice. I might actually add another, oscillator to this just to get that sort of middle harmonic in there. There we go. Nice. Flashback to the LaRue remix. In for the Kill. That tune used to be played so much. That was crazy. For anyone who's just tuned in, this week's jam is atmospheric, drum and bass, and no break, so I can't use break beats. So I'm gonna have to do something different with the drums, which is actually pretty interesting because I'm always tempted to just throw on a break beat and see if that makes it sound more organic and stuff. That's not gonna be the thing now. And I'm gonna go for some percussion, maybe like some 808 percussion or something. Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't say 808, just some percussion in general, some electronic type stuff. Let's see. Let's try this. Panther Skills says, I like designing my own sound, but sometimes getting the right wobbles with Massive can be a pain. What exactly do you run into with Massive and wobbles? Maybe I can help or something. Maybe not, but you never know. What's up, Pickrings? I'm glad people are able to find the new channel. Because, like, to change things, I had to change the URL. There's new YouTube as well. So I'm going to use the TMSV YouTube for, like, music uploads and that kind of stuff. And use the 01 channel for the stream archives and publicly available like tutorial videos when I release some of them to the public, I guess. Panther, I tried to use two oscillators, one for mid and the other for sub, but when I add the detune, it sounds off. Well, yeah, so what I usually do with the detuning, so do you mean detuning them against each other? Because I usually detune two oscillators that have sort of the same sound to them, at least the same register. So there'd be, so for a Reese, that'd be two saw waves detuned. Wait, am I still online? Oh, okay. Anyway, so with Massive, I'm just going to show you this. Yeah, I think Twitch is just kind of lagging. It looks fine on my end. I know it's rare, but it does look fine. Yeah. So what I usually do, like, when I detune something, I detune these two oscillators against each other, and they're like sort of the same thing or exactly the same thing. But when I use one oscillator for sub and the other for mid, wait. So I would have this as a sub. So that sounds more like, yeah, it sounds more off than it sounds nice and detuned and Reese and that kind of thing. So what I would do is detune two mid saw waves or whatever waves against each other, and then have the third one as like a dedicated sine wave sub channel. And if that fails, you can always do what I just did and add a separate rack if you use Ableton Live, that is. Because basically what I think happens about the skills is you have that sub wave that's just a sine wave, and the other wave has harmonics. So the only thing that's doing that nice phasey effect is the low end. So like the fundamental of that mid saw wave and the sine. So the rest of the sine isn't really affected. It's just like slightly detuned and won't sound as good combined with the fundamental, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, let me know and I'll try to explain. Ooh, nice. Yeah, this one. Nice. So how's everybody doing? Have you guys been making tunes? I haven't had time to check out the Discord. I usually try to at least listen to the stuff that's shared there. Yeah, we should really do like a finishing tunes challenge or something with this stream. Feel that bickering. It's always so annoying when you that's my experience anyway, get really inspired when you really don't have time. When I was in uni still, when I used to have to study for like a big boring whatever contract law test, that's when inspiration would strike and I'd make my best tunes. I think I made like tunes like Haze and that kind of thing. I made those hours before a deadline, you know, some paper being due or something. And then when you have time, when you have all the time in the world, all that inspiration goes away. I don't know why that is. Oh, wait. This should work. Let's see. That's a bit too much overdrive on the kick, right? There we go. When you feel like you have a nice sounding kick, but it doesn't hit as hard as you want to, do this with the overdrive plugin. But I am gonna go with a different shaker thing. Let's record one, I guess. Sorry about that. Wait, is this even working? Don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, don't crash, please, don't crash. Thank you. Everything's still coming through all right on you guys' end? Yeah, Crowley, the whole finishing things and then suddenly lacking the motivation or discipline or energy to finish them. It sucks. I'm kind of in one of those periods now as well. I should really finish a lot of new stuff. Let's see. Let's try this. I'm going to turn down the mic a bit. Hello. All right. See if we can. Oh shit! Wait. See if we can make this work. Wasn't my best shaker recording in the entire world, but my entire career, I mean. Doesn't need to be super quantized, but there needs to be a groove, right? I don't like it. I don't like the groove. Nah, I should have recorded it better. I think I'm just gonna go for a different shaker loop from a pack for now. I'll record it with lower latency and do my best later on. If I feel like it, that is. So I've been spending a great deal of time today recording a couple of videos for the Patreon subscribers in the series Production Fundamentals, sort of a style guide to making dubstep specifically. I'm going to go through a couple of genres in series, or at least that's the plan. And then some free software that I'm going to recommend. But I'm still not sure if that's the right series to start with. I'll see. I can always record something else and edit everything later on, that kind of thing. Let's see. Yeah, without the pad, it has sort of a dancehall feel to it, doesn't it? So yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe instead of the free software thing, because you can basically, what it would be is me recommending my favorite free software to use for making like bass music and sort of how to use them for it. But they're quite short videos, so maybe I should make that series a sort of a ideas from the Discord kind of series, because people have come up with pretty good ideas for that for videos. So I might just do that. Because it does make all that much sense to have the third series that only the third tier patrons get, to make that just about free software. So I want to give you guys some more value for your money, obviously. There we go. When in doubt with a shaker, just put on a bit crusher and get some harmonics going. Pickering says, if I ever try and make a tune based on grand ideas at a later time, it never works, but often come up with something else instead. You mean for that, in that same tune? Because that's good. Or do you mean you give up and start something new? Because that's less good, I guess. Wait, did you guys... I wasn't coming through twice on the mic, was I? Pickering says, like, I'll think of something before I actually start making it, and once I start, it just becomes something completely different. Yeah, I do that. I do that as well. Why do you think that is, Pickerings? Why do you think you don't know how to replicate what's in your head in Ableton? just want this. Crowley, the peak was because I wanted to get the I wanted to tune the ride. I don't really know why I went to that trouble, through that trouble, but I did. Because sound design is hard. Yeah, fair enough. I guess what helps me is just having as many samples sort of curated for myself as reasonably possible. I haven't done that for a while, but I feel like it does help me. Like when I have nice kicks and snares and stuff to choose from and some nice, I don't know, bass and mid sounds and whatever, then when I think of something, I kind of pick the sound that most closely resembles what's in my head. Start off with that. The ride kind of sucks, but yeah, I'm just gonna delete it. Why not? Do something with a noisemaker. Hey, what's up, J-Wire? You're in the 01 zone, my friend. The show is now called 01. I kind of wanted to, you know, make it a bit more separate from me as TMSV, because I felt like it was becoming a bit. I was making myself very available as TMSV, and that didn't really feel right for some reason. I just need to be able to lay low and make music as TMSV, sort of. It's not like it's an alter ego, but maybe that's the whole reason that I wanted to do this more as Thomas. I guess sort of as TMSV, because I do need to, you know, get people to listen and remember that it's me who's doing this, but you get what I'm saying. Any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Crowley. I might just do noise or something like that. Make it have like a bed of noise somewhere. I'm not that bad at playing keys. Not that I'm good, but this is seriously the latency. Not me. All right. This seems like a good time to test out my be right back screen on OBS. I'll be right back. Just refilling my drink.
Zero, one.
I'm back. Jaywire says, I definitely get it. Sometimes streaming is not conducive to proper workflow. Sometimes it's better to work off air when you have a more serious persona or whatever. Yeah, that is part of it. Like, obviously I can't make my most personal, emotional, whatever music on stream. Not that I would ever expect myself to be able to do that, or that, and it wasn't my plan, certainly. It's just that I don't know. I feel like not being, visible weekly as TMSV kind of adds to the mystery a little bit, and maybe adds some more value to releasing music. I don't really know how to explain it. I'm sure you guys get it, and I might be able to explain it a bit better later on, but it's nothing major or anything. I feel like it's a good decision. So for anyone who has just tuned in, what I'm doing right now is I'm doing the this week's sort of jam thing with the Wheel of Fortune. I'm making an atmospheric drum and bass track without breakbeats. That's my assignment for today. The challenge. Okay, I want there to be something when that note hits. I want something else to come in as well. And let's try and add this synth. I'm gonna add maybe like 2 extra ones in case I want more synths. Crowley, yeah, sure, man. I'll post the links to the Wheel Decide things in the chat right now. They're super long. Sorry about that. So that's 1, 2, and 3 in that order. Wow. Yeah, because all of the options are in the URL. Nice. All right. So like a pad or something. Sorry for the P sounds, by the way. Super Zero says you should have 1 week where everyone sends you a sound and you can only make something with them. Yeah, that sounds good. That's sort of like what Boiler Room does, which is great fun. I don't know about this lead sound, by the way. The melody too is maybe kind of like slow or whatever. What do you guys think of this melody? Is it too standard and slow and unengaging? Because there is something fast happening with this arpeggio synth, right? So maybe it doesn't need another melody in quick succession, or maybe in between the actual arpeggio or something. But let's try something a bit more, just a bit simpler, I guess. Let's see. I'm gonna turn all of this stuff off. Oh wow, it's super high, okay. All right. No thoughts on the melody, chat? What's up, Dotworks? Distortion. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I want to get a nice bass, like a nice sound out of the synth before I try and distort it. Thanks, Dotworks. Carly says the melody doesn't have a lot of energy in it, but it does sort of sound hooky. Maybe play with a lower octave, with other octave plugs to lively it up a bit. Yeah. Only thing I was thinking, says ESP, was tweaking the synth, which we're already working on. Yeah, fair enough. Super Zero says, just clicked what this sounds like, and now I'm very, very curious. What does it sound like? Yeah, so, yeah, some other octaves. So maybe I should just do something like this. Wait, turn off that stupid portamento. It sounds like the Distance remix of One Blood. Okay. Should I play it on stream? Yeah, why not? All right. It's the exact same melody. Did I detune these? Oh, it looks like I might have done. Oh, no, that's the FM thing. Okay. To the follow .works. Thank you, thank you.
Wispy.
Nice, Crowley. It's Crowley, aka
Wispy.
Wispy. I think this last note doesn't need to be there, actually. by the way, Crowley, a question just that has nothing to do with music or the stream. When do I know to start lifting heavier weights? Just asking resident feedback expert and fitness guru of the stream, of the 01 show, for advice. Okay, let's do some more nerdy shit. Let's see. Nice one, Super Zero. Thank you. Yeah, Crowley, it's form over weight, I guess, right? Because I wouldn't say I'm not challenged with my current routine. I've only been a couple of times, but just wondering. Okay, wait, so detuned bass first, and then, yeah, let's have the melody later on with the simpler bass. Okay, wait. Actually, I think that maybe we should have, yeah, let's do the melody a bit later. Have this as a sort of a chorus kind of thing with the detuned bass back in it, and make the whole thing, oh wait, detuned bass right there. Have the melody with the more straight sounding bass, and then kind of build up that tonal percussion before that whole melody thing happens. So I guess we sort of start out like this, maybe. Charlie says, definitely when you're starting, don't exert yourself too quickly. When you have the technique under control, you'll skyrocket to your max comfortable weight. Okay, great. This is sort of a mini version of how this tune might be built up in the end. It does sound like this should probably happen over a longer period of time. Oh wait, I forgot to delete the melody right there. Let's try this again. Yeah, Super Zero, I love colored vinyl as well. change the arpeggio an octave lower when you hit the melody, so you have that transition feel. Yeah, let's try that. Actually, maybe I'll try a halftime. It might sound pretty bad, but might as well try. Especially because you can automate it pretty nicely. Yeah, that's always kind of a trade-off, isn't it, Crowley, with the actual tempo. I mean, I could try it. Well, that sounds shit. That's pretty cool. Let's try this. It sounds kind of washed out this way. I like that. All right, I'm gonna try and make this work, and then it's time for me to get some well-deserved rest today. It's been a long day, guys. It's fun to just make some music on stream as well. It feels like it's been a while. It really hasn't, because 2 weeks ago I did the same thing, but still. So just to send you guys off with something useful, Dotworks asks, yo TMSV, could you talk or show us a little bit this the awesome groupings and routing of this project? Is this your start screen when you start the DAW? Yeah, there's still a couple of minutes to go through this. I wanted to dedicate a stream to this one day, I guess, but for now, just as a quick thing, what I did, so yeah, when I start up Ableton, when I start a new project, you get all of this routed correctly. So what I did is I have drums, percussion, bass, synths, and effects. I have audio channels for everything because I prefer to have mostly everything in audio these days. Just a matter of taste, I guess. Preference. And some MIDI channels on the bass and synth, so I can do sound design and play melodies and that kind of thing, and add samples in samplers and that sort of stuff. So I used to have it bust because grouping groups, so having groups in groups wasn't possible before. So if I wanted to have these snares and process them all together, I wouldn't be able to group them and then have them in the group to bust them. So I had to send all of the channels to a separate channel, and I called that drums and that kind of thing. But now I can just group everything within the group as of Ableton Live 10. And that's pretty great. So, just to give you an example of these, how these are all routed and how useful that is. So all these drums, I usually use like no more than a kick with a layer on it, 3 snares, 3 hats, basically. And shakers are usually in the percussion section. And then on the channel itself, on the bus channel, I have this rack with saturation, a high pass filter, parallel compression, which I rarely use, but sometimes, a high shelf thing to get some of the high off, then an air thing, which is an exciter, a limiter, and an out gain. So if I have these drums, what I could do is saturate them, get rid of some low end, parallel compress them, balance them out by taking out some of the high end and adding some of it back in again. And then limiting it to get rid of the peaks. Obviously, this is all exaggerated for the example, but you get it. And that way, that gives me a lot of space to work with headroom-wise in the mix down. Because then I can basically flatten everything without having to think about what to bus and what belongs together. And I can, and then I can flatten everything, mix everything down, make sure there's no rogue like peaks and transients and stuff. It's really useful. Then I have Massive as my main synth usually on the channels, and also a Phonec, the computer music free edition of this of the Phonec synth, Phonec 2, which is great. And then on every audio channel or on every new channel in general, I have a utility plugin, mostly for mono, but also for input gain. Then saturation, a filter, EQ, a compressor, a sidechain compressor, a limiter just in case, and another utility for output gain, just for makeup gain and that kind of stuff. Kind of depends on the group you're in, because on the bass stuff, I have a bass splitter rack, which is basically just a low pass channel and a high pass channel, which I can then independently process and that sort of stuff. On the synths, I have some like vintage effects on there that I can turn on and tweak to make things sound grittier and older and tapey-er. Then there is these send channels, or return channels, I should say, with a short reverb, a medium reverb, and a long reverb, all sort of compressed and stuff. I don't know if I'm happy with the current settings because I kind of messed them up recently, so I might have to revisit those. Because the compressor on this one, for example, is a bit too quick for reverb. Then a weird delay that's kind of sort of messed up pitch-wise, but really quick. Then a short, quick delay that sounds sort of neutral. And then a long delay, like a tape delay thing that slowly dies out. Then I have a master channel with a limiter, a master limiter. MSED, which I have a key shortcut. So if I press M, it goes mono. And if I press comma, you can just hear the side. So it's a mid-side kind of thing. So I can hear what's going on in the mid-side. A spectrum analyzer that you can see underneath my face on stream. An oscilloscope, same deal. This spiral plugin, so I can identify notes and chords and make sure everything is tuned correctly. Especially with if you have a sample and it doesn't feel right tuning wise, or you want to make sure that you don't have to tune everything else in the track when you start out with a sample. This is really useful. And a G tune for like just a guitar tuner. I think that's it. Oh yeah, and the noise VST, which is useful for like I make sounds for them as well. Pretty great. You can just browse samples and drag them in, and FL Studio for if I want to use the step sequencer and that kind of thing. Oh, one final thing. There are markers here for the most, like, just to make sure I know how much room I have to work with for the tune, because I usually try and stay under, I guess 4 minutes when I work at a lower tempo. Obviously the tempo is pretty high now. I'm not gonna make this tune last only 2.5, 3 minutes. But yeah, like intro, an A, B, C section, then a breakdown, and then kind of repeats sometimes, and then an outro. This is kind of an experimental new one I'm working with in terms of notation, I guess. And a neat thing you can do with this, if you're using Ableton Live, you can edit the info text right there and then make notes. You can't see that right now, but where my mouse is going right now, at the lower left corner, you can type stuff there and sort of have notes for the sections that you want to implement or work on and make sure you don't forget. Yeah, I hope that sort of gives you some info about the template. Please make a template for yourself. It's super useful. Let's see. Catching up with the chat before I log off. Grey Moon Music, are we making rhythm today? I might actually do that in the near future. Let's try and make a rhythm track. Just as sort of a joke, I guess. Dotwork says, crazy, I should start making a template myself. So much time saving. Yeah, it's great. It's awesome. And yes, Crowley also co-signed it. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the first episode of 01. If you like to follow that kind of thing, go to the YouTube page. Links all below the screen. What else? The URL of the Patreon has changed, by the way, but nothing else has changed. So same rewards and same tiers and that kind of thing. Yeah, so peace out and see you guys next week, if not earlier. Oh yeah, this new intro transition thing is nice, isn't it? Goodbye.
01.
Nice, right?